Hello everyone, it's Wendy Kennedy here. So in the United States, we are just getting ready to start our holiday season in a couple weeks. We're sliding right on into Thanksgiving. And things tend to get a little crazy for everyone around this time of year as we start to connect with our families and as we start to get to the end of the year and we're reviewing what's gone on, all of our stuff starts to come up. So I wanted to create a Galactic Light Code to kind of help support you as we move into this season. And initially I thought it would probably be a code on balance or this idea of perfectionism that we have. But when I sat down to ask the guides what they thought we should be working with, they suggested patience. And to be honest, I was kind of surprised when they said patience. And then they explained it to me, and of course then it made perfect sense as to why, right? So if we are working on any issue in our life and we don't have patience for the process, it keeps us trapped in that lower vibrational frequency, and it makes it very, very difficult to move out of anything that we're trying to work on. And in this society, we have been so conditioned for immediate gratification that we've lost a lot of our patience for the process, for the journey, because it's not really about the destination. As a soul, we're more interested in the process of getting there. You know, we didn't learn to walk in a day. First, we had to learn to roll over and then to sit up, to crawl, to stand, then take a step, and then fall down. And we learned how to find our balance, and it took a lot of time. But again, we learned how to get there. It was a process. And if you don't have patience for yourself, it's very, very difficult. And if you don't have patience for you, then anybody in your reality is going to be a little short-tempered with you. They're not going to have any patience to extend to you, and you probably have very, very little to give to anybody else yourself, which is not so cool. And the holidays, everybody's tensions are high anyway, and a little patience goes a very, very long way. So in a moment, we will have the Galactic Light Code for you. And the code the guide suggests working with once or twice for the next 3 days. And it's really, really important that you check in with yourself as to just how frequently to work with it, because some of you get a little overzealous and you want to work a lot because you really want to master that energy, but sometimes less is more. And what we're finding as we're working with these codes from the feedback that we're getting from others is that these codes, while they look really innocuous, are actually quite potent. So just check in with yourself to see if you should be working with it more or less on a day-to-day basis. Now, we'll have the code up here on the screen in just a moment, and we'll also have a language of light activation and then a meditation to help focus on patience itself. Now, the language of light activation and the code bypass the traditional language centers of the brain, and they speak to you as a divine being of light. The universal language of light is understood by all life in the universe. So there's nothing that you really need to do other than to be present and allow yourself to open and receive the frequencies. Now, if you enjoyed this video, give us some love, give us a share or a like on social media. As you share the information, it may be of service to somebody else who's in need of those frequencies. And then head back on over to higherfrequencies.net and leave us a comment, because we would really like to hear about your experiences with the codes. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being you, and enjoy the latest light code.
Do da sta le ikatasta am I ikata ista ala ista am patasta elika patasta ala bitakatas I lista asta ma ista asta ala ista ikatasta ala ikatai paista ikata ingata ikatasta ole ikatasta ikataista ikatasta dai ipataista ala ikatasta am papakara katasta ikrakatai ikrakatai Tosta eli kita petasta tai petasta amba pasta ale esta ale kta petasta inktai ta isto o tasta eli kitasta ambet pasta ele krakate kta patakti kaskapatakta krapakatai ink parkatai sta ale in tala kitasta amba kta ile esta ai ista ale kitasta ale Easter. In this time and in this space, I now open to infinite patience and allow the energy of Source to flow effortlessly through me. I accept that all things are experienced in divine timing. While I may not be able to foresee an outcome from my current level of awareness, I trust that I will experience life in the most appropriate way and in the most appropriate time for the highest good and growth for myself and all others. I extend infinite patience to myself for all my perceived flaws and limitations. I release any conditions or expectations I may have placed upon myself or others that cause impatience. I align with the knowingness that I am a divine being of light and that every experience, regardless of my egoic perception, is an opportunity for me to learn and grow at the soul level. In this knowingness, I extend infinite patience for the journey of exploration to myself, and I extend that patience to all others as they too seek to explore. In this moment, I now forgive myself fully and completely for any impatience I may have expressed, as well as any harsh thought or word I may have had about myself or others, or any deed I may have undertaken, knowingly or unknowingly, in this lifetime and in all other lifetimes. I now extend to others forgiveness for any impatience, harsh thought, word, or deed they may have expressed towards me, knowingly or unknowingly, in this lifetime and in all other lifetimes. I know in every moment there is richness of source to be explored. My impatience is my perception of the absence of a particular vibration in my experience. In every moment, all things may be experienced. I allow in this moment the opportunity to shift my perspective so that I may see the beauty, richness, and wholeness of every moment. And as I do so, I experience infinite patience, for nothing is lacking in my reality. I am grateful for the patience that is boundlessly extended to me as I learn and grow. And it is with infinite gratitude I reflect the same patience to myself, others, nature, Mother Earth, and the entire universe. And so it is.